you guys? What's up? How are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. So in today's video I will be giving some advice or my tips and tricks of how to grow your hair, make it thicker, make it healthier, things like that. These are just things that I do and none of it is original. I got it all from other people and this is just like my way of like putting everything that I got from other people and then some things that I just got from like my family, my mom or whatever, putting it together, seeing and finding what works best for me. So definitely not trying to take anything away from anybody, definitely not taking credit for anything, not saying that I'm the first to do anything, but yeah, just sharing what works. So yeah, first things first, I'm just gonna go over routine wise, because it's all about consistency. It's all about consistency when it comes to hair. You have to make sure you're consistent in order to see results, okay? And that's something I really struggle with. Like, I would do good for a couple weeks and I would get lazy or tired of it and fall off. It just wasn't consistent, and for a while I didn't see any type of growth, any type of change in my hair, and I was wondering why, but I was the one to blame. So one thing that I've learned that contradicted everything that I used to do for years, like when I was younger, is that I have to wash my hair once a week, not every 2 weeks, not every 3 weeks, not once a month. Because I know, like, especially as Black girls, we always like to like wait the longest to wash our hairs. We have like these protective hairstyles and for months and then don't wash our hairs while they're in. And while that may work for some people, it definitely did not work for me. And I think it's just like not the best thing to do. Like, you probably should be at least washing your hair every 2 weeks, but I've learned that it's best for me to wash it once a week. And I try to be consistent and pick like a consistent day to wash it. So recently I've been washing it on like Sundays, but sometimes depending on what I'm doing, it might be Monday, it might be Thursday, but as long as it's like it doesn't go over it doesn't go 2 weeks or over the 2 week mark, because I used to really like push it back as long as I could, but we're not doing that. 2025, we consistent, you know what I'm saying? By the way, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, my hair texture is, I believe, between like 3B and 4B. I don't think it's 4C. It might be 4A, but it might be 3A, but it definitely doesn't go above 3. Like a lot of different textures all in one. Sorry, y'all, my allergies are kicking, so like my eyes are really itchy. But it's like a lot of hair textures in one. Like right now, I washed it yesterday and you could kind of see the curl pattern. I put like some Guava Slip Camilla Rose stuff on it that I just bought today. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, it definitely does define the curls and it stays. It like the curl definition lasts. But I'm just not really into the smell. It's too like of a fruity smell for me, and I'm more of a sweet girl. The fruity smell just kind of like annoys me. I mean, it's not, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like picky, but overall, I mean, it's not bad. I love everything Camilla Rose though. Like, I have the Camilla honey that I use, but that's a whole separate video. If you want to know like the products that I use and that works for me, you can go watch that video. But yeah, I just wanted to like kind of give y'all an idea of what my hair texture is so it could be more helpful. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So consistency is everything. I wash my hair once a week now, and I don't use more than I don't use more than 2 shampoos. I used to use like 3 or 4 shampoos because that's just what my mama told me, but I love my mom, shout out to all the mothers, but sometimes they could be wrong, and that's okay, because I've learned and I realized that using too many different shampoos dries your hair out, which I don't know, this may be obvious to some people, but like I said, this is all I knew, this is all I learned. I used to wash my hair no earlier than 2 weeks, and I used to use 4 different shampoos. Why? I do not know. That's just what I was told. But neither one of them were good for my hair, and I had to switch it up. So I only use one shampoo. I haven't found like one really good shampoo to consistently use. So I do change the shampoos every now and then, which probably isn't the best, but it isn't the worst either. I haven't saw too much like effects from that, bad or good, but I definitely only use one. Like no matter what shampoo I use, I'm only using one shampoo every time I wash my hair. If you need to cleanse your hair, like if it's like extra dirty that day for some reason, then you can use the same shampoo twice, like wash, rinse, then wash again, but do not use more than one shampoo, okay? Because it will dry your hair. And ever since I've been washing my hair once a week and using only one shampoo, I've seen so much more like moisture retaining in my hair. It's way less dry, because I used to have like dry, brittle hair. No matter how much moisturizer I put no matter how much moisturizer I put on my hair, by the next day it looked dry. Like it just like would soak it up. It just was too dry from like being dirty too long and over shampooing, because like the shampoo strips away the moisture on the hair. So you don't want to overdo it. And ever since I stopped doing that, my hair has been moisturized on its own. Of course, I still put moisturizer on top of it too to help it, but I don't have to put as much, and it doesn't look as dry. All right, so sorry about that. So yeah, wash your hair once a week, only use one shampoo. Braiding it really helps. Like braiding it almost every day, I would say, like every day before you go to sleep. This is something that I have trouble being consistent with still, but I'm getting better, so you know, progress. But braiding it every night before you go to sleep, whether it's just like 2 braids, 1 braid, it doesn't have to be French braids or curls. If you don't know how to French braid or curl, that's fine. You could just do like little windy braids, if you know what I'm saying. And that helps. I think it helps with ends. Yeah, it helps with ends, because ends, like your ends always kind of shed on their own, but like when you braid the ends, it limits the shedding. It'll be like little to no shedding if you braid the ends every night. So braiding every night before you go to sleep, and just keeping it in braids for as long as you can too. Like if you can go the next day wearing the braids, great. If you could go a week with the braid, great. And then wash it, that's perfect. But I know depending on how you braid your hair, it's not always the most attractive style for some people. So as long as you braid it every night, you don't have to wear the braid throughout the day, but braiding it every night will really help. Just 2 braids or 1 braid to help your ends not fall out and not shed a lot or all the time. So that's something that I'm still like struggling to do, but when I do it, it helps, and I see the difference. How to comb properly, like especially for my hair texture, it's easy to just like go in there with a comb and just be like yanking the hair, but you shouldn't do that. Once again, these may be obvious things for some people, but for some it's not. Like you wouldn't believe how many people are out here yanking their hair out with a comb. Do not do that. Comb from the bottom first. Like comb the bottom, comb the ends, detangle it lightly, and then start from the top and go there, because usually like the top isn't tangled, it's the bottom. So if you going from the top to the bottom immediately and like getting stuck at the bottom and just pulling it, that's, I mean, like you're putting more work on yourself. You can just start with the part that's tangled. That way once you go from the top, it's easier to go through. Okay, so this is the type of comb that I use. So like any comb that looks like this, or like a bristle brush, a comb that's more on the brush end than a comb, a comb that looks more like a brush than a comb will be the one to go for, okay? Because all 2025, we're not doing tight thin tooth combs anymore. No, it's not happening unless we have small sections and we're flat ironing and braiding. I don't want to see no thin tooth comb. I don't. Because first of all, they break every single time you use them. at least when I use them, I've broke so many thin tooth regular combs that just should have been a sign that wasn't for me. That wasn't, you know. But, you know, maybe they didn't have those combs at this time. We are, you know, progressing as a nation. We are getting more stuff for like our hair textures nowadays, so that's great. But we should be using it. Like, come on now, why y'all stuck in the past? Get a wet brush, get a comb, get a bristle brush, whatever. All right, get one of these. Obviously, like, reduce the heat. I feel like that's a obvious one that people really, they know, but they don't want to accept. Heat damage is real. Okay, so if you're one of those people who like to put heat on their hair, and that's just not flat, that's not just flat ironing, it's blow drying too. I used to blow dry my hair. Every time I washed it, I blow dried it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, these past couple of years, when I've been doing my own hair, I've been wearing it more natural and curly. But in my younger days, you would not catch me with my curly hair at all. You wouldn't. The only time you would catch me if I didn't have braids in, because my mom always kept my head in braids, but if I didn't have braids in, you would only see me with a blowout or a flat iron. And I, thankfully, thank God I didn't get heat damage, but I don't think it really, like, I think it kind of added to the dryness of my hair, because like putting heat on your hair is another way of drying it too. And then on top of that, like, I didn't, like, it was a time in my life for years where my hair just did not go past a certain length. Like, now it's like mid-length. It's not too long, it's not really long, but like, it's growing. I had a bob a year ago, and the growth that you see in a year, like, this is more growth than I've ever seen in my life. Like, my hair used to be the same length all the time. It just did not grow. And even like my hairstylist at the time was saying like, yeah, like every time I do your hair, it's pretty much the same length. And she wasn't saying like in a mean way, she was just being honest. And I was like, yeah, like I noticed that too. So I think, you know, all those habits has something to do with my hair just not growing. Like, y'all ever have hair that just like, hair's supposed to grow every day, a couple inches, I believe. So if it's not, that's a sign that you're doing something wrong. Because there's no, like, people think that their hair just stays a certain length and doesn't grow, but if that's the case with your hair, you probably are doing something wrong or need to do something differently. And that's just what it is, because hair does grow. There's no such thing as a hair stopping at a certain length. Like, your hair can go past a certain length if you let it, if you allow it, if you push it to. You feel me? Sometimes it just needs a little push and a little help. And I think all those things that I was doing was like causing my hair to not grow past a certain length, which was the waiting too long to wash it, the using too many shampoos, and the putting too much heat on it. All like, you know, preventing my hair from growing the way it needed to grow. Now, at one point, I just like was not taking care of my hair at all. Like, I wouldn't put any moisturizer on it, I wouldn't braid it, I would put it in a ponytail, go to sleep, wake up with that same ponytail, and not do anything. And obviously that was causing a lot of damage to my hair. So you just really need to take care of your hair. It's consistency is everything, not just washing it consistently, not just, you know, putting in protective styles, but like waking up every morning, if your hair is not like in a protective style, and doing something with it. Like, put some moisturizer on it. Don't be too lazy to just moisturize your hair. That's all you gotta do. If you want to go out like this, that's cool, but this is still moisturized. You know, it probably could be a little more moisturized, but like, it's better than nothing. Don't go out with your hair looking dry and frizzy. All 2025, we have moisturized hair. Okay, 2025 is just a great year for us. New changes, new things. Come on, better hair goals. So yeah, like, take that time to take care of your hair every morning and every night. Don't just go to sleep on it. Like I said, put it in some braids, moisturize it again if you have to, you know what I'm saying? Take care of your hair, for real. Take care of your hair, be consistent, and you don't have to have protective styles, but you know, if you know that you're not the type of person that's gonna wake up and do something with your hair, or you know, take care of your hair night and day, then protective styles probably are the way to go for you. The best protective style for me is like mini twist. I love that hairstyle. It's so easy, it's so quick, and it's so cute. Like I get a lot of compliments on it. So the mini twist for the win. Also mini braids. My mom used to do that a lot when I was younger, and it was cute. Still like it. So those are just like the natural protective styles. But if you know you want some knotless braids, some box braids, you can do that too. I've heard that, I know there's like a lot of rumors going around that the braiding hair causes cancer now. I'm not exactly sure if that's true, but I did hear something that was like, if you have it in too long, then the chance is higher than if you don't have it in that long. So, you know, once again, that just goes back to like, how often are you washing your hair? Because you shouldn't have the braids in for no longer than 3 weeks. Once it gets to a month, you're really pushing it. I used to always, you know, take my hair out within 2 weeks, because let's be honest, it don't even look right. You know, if you get to the stage where you have to redo the front braids, you just need to take it out. Okay, it's time to wash your hair. So I would say it's probably not that bad, like to get braiding hair, as long as you're not overdoing it, because you shouldn't be keeping hair in that long anyway. So if that's the case, if what they said about the braiding hair only causing cancer if you keep it in too long, then you shouldn't have to worry about it. You could still get that as a protective style for like 2 weeks or whatever. Or if you're going swimming, you could still get that hairstyle. Want to have a cute protective hairstyle, like that's cool. I approve of that. If my approval means anything to you, then I approve of that. So yeah, that's about it for routine. I'm trying to think of anything else that I might be missing. We got the wash, the night routine. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the routine. If I think of anything else, I'll mention it, but I think that's good enough. So now we're gonna go to some masks that I've came across and discovered over the years on social media from different celebrities and just different influence and hair reviews and all that stuff that consist of natural like food ingredients, because I wasn't big on putting food in my hair until about a year ago, but it's actually not that bad, guys. If you needed somebody to tell you that it was not bad and that you could do it, then I'm that person. Put that food in your hair, girl. All right, but so a couple of masks I did a mask on YouTube, and I made like a YouTube short and posted it. I think it was like the Cardi B mask, and that one is honestly my favorite. I've only did like 2 or 3 masks, but I still just think hers was the best. And it was hers, but then it was like some other influencers that I saw do hers and add their own things to it. So like it's a mixture of different things, but basically the main ingredients were avocado, mayonnaise, egg yolk, and banana. That's what I think was in hers. And then I added some like tea tree oil. You can do coconut oil, honey, and she might have put honey too, but I definitely use honey, olive oil, because olive oil is good for like my dandruff, and I get a lot of dandruff. So is bananas too. But like that mask, like just blending that up, mixing that together and putting it on your hair, that really does so much for it. Like I saw a major improvement in like the volume and the thickness of my hair ever since I did it, and it just like looks so much better. It feels so much stronger, healthier, and fuller. Because I mean, like, I'm not balding or whatever, but my hair was like getting a little thin from damage. Like I dyed my hair twice, one blonde, and if you know, I feel like everybody knows the dangers of blonde. So my hair was really going through it, and at one point it was kind of like falling out, not too much, but like, you know, enough to care, enough to notice. For me, maybe nobody else noticed it, but I noticed it enough to like take extra care, and that really helped get like that thickness back and just become even thicker than it ever was. Like my hair is thicker than it ever was. You may not be able to see it now, or maybe you might, but like when I put like the pictures of like my flat iron hair, it just looks so much better. Like it really helps with the thickness, with the volume, help being healthier. Yeah, it has eggs, and the mayonnaise have a lot of protein. Avocado has a lot of benefits as well that I don't remember. Banana's good for the dandruff, like I said, so is the olive oil and coconut oil. You don't have to do both, either or is good. And honey's good for something else too. Honey's good for the hair in general. Like I said, I use like this honey hydrate from Camilla Rose. So honey is a, you know, natural common ingredient for hair. And putting on that mask like before I wash my hair really just has helped so much and been a lifesaver. I don't do it often. I try to do it like once every month, but I mean, I don't have all those ingredients all at once because like I'm not shopping for food ingredients to use in my hair. But when I do have those food ingredients to eat, then sometimes I would use some of it to put it in my hair. So if I have those ingredients, which is, you know, not as much, but quite often enough, then I'll use it. But it's not like really a consistent mask. As long as you use it maybe like 3-4 times a year, I think you'll see results. It might be slower than somebody who uses it every week, but results are results, you know what I'm saying? And if you have the patience for it, then yeah. But if you absolutely like want to be consistent and see the results, then just make sure you always have those ingredients in your house. I'll say it again: avocado, banana, mayonnaise, egg, coconut oil or olive oil, tea tree oil, and honey. Make sure you keep those ingredients in your house and use that mask and use it before, like just put it on dry hair, dry, dirty hair, not too dirty, but you know, dry, unwashed hair before you wash it. Don't like put any water on it or anything, just put it right on top and you would instantly see your hair just get curly and the definition show. That's a sign that it's working. It actually looks really pretty too, even with that like all that nasty food on it. It looks nice. The avocado and like the oils max the smell of like the egg and mayonnaise, so that's good. I haven't had like any really bad experience with the stink of it that some people say they get, but that's just me. Maybe my nose is just different. I don't know. I don't think I'm used to stink. I usually smell good, but who knows? So yeah, and then leave it on for at least 15 minutes and then just rinse it right off in the shower with cool water, not warm, not hot, because the eggs will cook, which is nasty. So do not wash hair with hot water. But that's another thing in general, back to like the routine and like the washing, you should not be using hot water on your hair because that's just gonna make it frizzy. You should be using cool, warm, but more on the cooler side water temperature of water for washing your hair. Hot water should never touch your hair. Baby, this ain't, no, are you trying to burn your hair off? Like this ain't braids. You don't just put the ends in hot water and they look nicer. Now I know hot water cleans things, but trust me when I say you do not need the hot water to clean your hair. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's really the only mask. There's a couple other masks I tried, but I feel like that's the one that just works the best. So I'm not even gonna like explain the other masks I tried because what's the point? That's the mask you should use. Period. What else? Oh, trimming. I don't know how I feel about trimming. I used to get my hair trimmed like every once in a while, and honestly, it did nothing for me but just get rid of the ends that were dead. But like it didn't help the growth that much. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know how I feel about trimming. I know some people who say it works for them, and I've seen it work for some people, but for me personally, I haven't seen it work that much. And I feel like if you're just taking care of your hair, braiding it every night so that your trims don't fall out, like I said, and putting like that mask on it that keeps it healthy, then you won't have to have trim so often, because you hopefully won't have a lot of dead ends. Like, my goal is to prevent the dead ends from even being there before I have to like trim it all the time, you know what I'm saying? So as far as trimming goes, I guess I'm not really too big on that, but you know, that's not to say that it doesn't work. If you need to trim your hair, then trim your hair. I'm not too big on like anything with scissors unless I really want a bob, which I had before. Like, unless I really want to cut my hair, I don't condone in any type of cutting, you know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, the trims really be a cut, at least the way these hairdressers do it. They do not know how to trim hair, and if you try to trim your hair yourself, you probably will accidentally cut it too. So anything that has to do with scissors, unless you're like confident that you want like an actual cut, I would just like stay away from. But if that's what your hairstylist, your professional suggests, or if that's what your mom suggests, if that's what you just suggest in your life, then go for it. But if you asking me personally, I would say no. Conditioners, of course, how could I forget about conditioners? I talked about washing, didn't talk about conditioners. Okay, so as far as conditioning goes, I used to use 2 different conditioners. You don't have to do that. Like I said, I used to overdo it. 1 conditioner is enough. Deep conditioning really does help. Like, just if you have like one of those in the house dryers, use that and put that over your hair while your conditioner soaks in like a cap, you know, plastic cap. If you don't, just put that plastic cap on, or don't put any cap on. Just leave that conditioner on your hair for a minimum of 30 minutes. Do that at least every other week. I haven't been too consistent with that, but I probably should, and that will help a lot with moisturizer retaining, making your hair look more moisturized, more shiny, more glowing, all in good ways, and strengthening it and keeping it healthy using the right products. I have a separate video about like all the products that I use for my hair that works the best for me and that have so many like benefits that you could use. But see, if you want to see that video, if you want to get that information, then you can go find that video on my page. Don't do tight styles. Like, if you can avoid tight styles altogether, then do it. As far as ponytail goes, you're always gonna have to put your hair up in a ponytail every once in a while, but try to make it so it's not too tight. I literally use scrunchies all the time. If I ever use like a regular rubber band, it's rare. Like, it's rare if you see me with a regular rubber band. I do it sometimes, but most of the time I always have some type of scrunchie in my hair, and usually I don't do like more than 1 loop. Like, I go for more of like a loose ponytail style, because if you put your hair in like a loose ponytail, it actually like is bigger and it like falls better. But of course, like, the outside area isn't as tight, so usually I just wear like a headband or a scarf. But yeah, like, I try to avoid putting my hair in a tight ponytail because that hurts my head to begin with. Like, I'm one of those people who like will get like headaches from tight hairstyles, even if it's just like a simple ponytail. So I avoid like tight ponytails, and I just put 1 loop, put a headband on if I have to. Tight braids, I have not did cornrows since I was younger, or since about like a couple years ago, and I don't plan on doing it anymore because I've seen, first of all, I've had experiences where cornrows were really tight and I was crying while getting them, but since I was so younger, like, I guess, you know, nobody thought anything of it. It was just like, oh, she's a baby, she's crying because she's just getting cornrows. And it's, but now, like, now that I think about it, that was wrong. Like, even if I was 6, even if I was 10 and I was crying because I got my cornrows, that should be a sign to not do it. But I used to do it a lot when I was younger, and I think I got used to the pain, so it doesn't really hurt as much, but it's still tight, you know what I'm saying, and it's still not good. And I've actually seen people lose their edges and like have their hair thin out in the front because of cornrows and styles with cornrows that they always get. So avoid cornrows. Most people don't even like them because it makes their head look big, and if you're one of those people, great. you know, you're not doing it for the same reason, but you on the right track. Do not get cornrows. I know it's hard because it's so cute, and I used to get them all the time. If you do get them, if you do end up getting them for some reason because you just have to, or you love them so much that you can't stop, then try to get a hairstylist, or if you do them yourself, try to find a way that it's not as tight. It's probably easier to do that when you know how to do your own hair to avoid the tightness. I doubt a hairstylist is going to be able to not do it tight, because I mean it's going to look different overall, because I feel like the style itself requires for it to be super tight. Like if you don't have tight cornrows, they're just not going to look right, and for that reason alone you should just avoid getting the hairstyle altogether. But I know it can be hard because there's a lot of cute cornrow hairstyles that I still want to this day that I haven't got, but I'm avoid getting, because I just don't, I know what it can do and I don't want that damage anymore. I'm trying to take care of my hair. I'm trying to, you know, be nicer to my hair. I don't want to pull it out. I don't want to get anything too tight. So yeah, no cornrows, no tight ponytails, no tight hairs in general. Putting too much gel on your hair and slicking it back is a problem within itself. That can also make your hair thin out and your edges get pulled, because you're just pulling your hair. Like it's tight, you're pulling it. It's gonna weigh down, it's gonna pull it out your scalp slowly but surely. So I don't even like put gel on my hair that much and slick it back, because gel has its own problems within itself. With me, it usually, like, I haven't found a gel that doesn't make my hair flake, and a lot of the gels trigger my dandruff too. So I don't really put gel on my hair. I don't even put like ponytails in my hair. If you know, I usually try to wear my hair out like this most of the time, or in like the mini twist, the natural, anything that allows my hair to not be pulled back or pulled up, anything that allows my hair to not be pulled at all, I avoid. Okay, and I suggest you do it too if you don't want hair loss in the future. Really all the basic things I do to keep my hair healthy and grow longer. So yeah, and I'm still working on it. I'm still working on being consistent. All 2025 are about consistency, growth, and healthy. But I'm doing better than before, and I'm taking care of my hair. So, and you can do it too. So yeah, I hope this video helps you. Make sure to check out the other videos too for my little hair series. I may make a playlist for it, and comment down below anything else you want to see. Bye.